It's me. What up, though? It's your man, Sean Hubbard of the one and only show called Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, aka HUBBanomics. Happy to be with you guys. It is my pleasure, it's my honor on a Saturday afternoon. Appreciate you guys being with me. Um, First and foremost, giving honor to God. Appreciate the blessings that He's bestowed upon all of us, and definitely excited to be with you guys on this Saturday afternoon. Just got home from Houston, Texas with the family and handling some business also at the same time. So it's another day, man, another day. And I got to be honest with you, man, I got a whole lot to say this afternoon regarding these subject matters that I promoted today. Big shout out to Clown13Z4 Tweezy in here, man. We appreciate you, Clown13420, being here. Always a loyal viewer and listener. Anybody else who's watching, as they start coming on in, we thank you and appreciate you in advance. So, as we all know, there's been a lot of things going on in the world of professional wrestling. As always, chat, let me know if you hear me clearly. I'd appreciate that. Just extra love. I would appreciate it if you let me know if you can hear me clearly. There's been so many things going on in the world of professional wrestling, especially as we enter the time zone or the time area where we're getting prepared for AEW, AEW's biggest pay-per-view, All In, coming up on July 12th, as well as a plethora of pro wrestling PLEs presented by, thanks, Clown, appreciate it, presented by, oh my goodness, presented by WWE. There's a lot of things going on. So, but what I want to focus on today are two headlines. And big shout out to everybody who listens to us every single Monday night on Everything Pro Wrestling channel. We call our show Clash of the Podcast. Myself and Conrad Cushman, each and every Monday night, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check us out. We're going to get right into the crux of today's show, and just dive into some complete garbage decisions that Triple H and his regime have made. Quite frankly, I don't understand it. I don't appreciate it. It annoys me. It actually infuriates me. It disgusts me, as a matter of fact. I would go that far as it relates to the decisions that Paul Triple H Levesque, as well as his cabinet, his administration, what have you, have made, even in the last couple of weeks. So let's just talk about it right quick and just see what we have to say. First of all, like I said, big shout out to Clown13Z4 Tweezy in the building. Says good afternoon and tells me my sound is good. I appreciate you, dude. My bro Sir Quill's in the building. He says, what's going on? Hubs, it's your boy Sir Quill's here for to enjoy the latest episode of HUBBanomics. I'm very intrigued to hear your opinion on your topics today, bro. I appreciate you. Hashtag HWW. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna talk my talk, bro. You know that. Vinny, the only Vinny we like in the building, says happy Saturday and God bless. Happy Saturday and God bless you too, Vinny. We appreciate you so much, man. And obviously M. Leezy for Tweezy, the man who's kind of assumed the role of our social media ambassador for Clash of the Podcast and HUBBanomics. Appreciate you being here. He says good afternoon to everyone. As you continue to come in, I'll continue to read your comments and show you love. But one person I don't want to show love to is the con man known as Paul Triple H Levesque. All right, let's talk about it. First and foremost, the man is coming across as a cold-blooded liar. Conrad and I talked about this briefly on Clash of the Podcast. I'm sure we'll get into it more in the weeks and months to go by, especially considering the fact that this coming Friday, it's been announced that it's going to be John Cena versus Ron Killings on Friday Night SmackDown. So here's the deal, man. Ron Killings made his return to WWE after a few weeks' absence and a lot of rumors saying that his contract was set to expire. Came back and made a surprise, pretty cool surprise entrance and surprise run-in at the pay-per-view going up against John Cena. Thank you. On behalf of all the fathers, I appreciate that. It's not going to be a rant, clown. Just going to speak my truth. But on behalf of all the fathers out there, I appreciate that. Thank you. M. Leezy says, Triple H lies so much his nose has grown to this size and grown in size in the last 6 months. Well, it's hard to imagine his nose could get any bigger, but I think you're right, M. Leezy. So Triple H and his administration decided to allegedly let R-Truth go, decided to not renew his contract. So then it was a big surprise when R-Truth came out and did a run-in on John Cena at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Cool. Well, it is what it is, right? Conrad talked about it with me on Clash of the Podcast, and I'm gonna go a little deeper into it. Triple H decided that he wanted to go on the post pay-per-view media scrum and tell the world, after being asked this question, he wanted to tell the world that it was all part of the show. Now, he didn't go into any further detail about that. I wonder why, the politician that he's turning into. But what he said was, it's part of the show, or I'm paraphrasing, it's part of the show, or enjoy the show, or something in that ballpark. Feel free to put it in the chat if you remember exactly what he said, but I think it was something in that ballpark. Dude said it's all part of the show, or enjoy the show, or whatever the case may be. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced, unequivocal lie, in my opinion. If I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. No problem. But I believe it's a bold-faced lie. I believe he lied to that person in the media. I believe he lied to the entire viewing audience. R-Truth was as good as gone as it relates to WWE television. That's what I believe. I believe there's no question about that. My biggest thing is opportunity. What are you talking about, Sean? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Opportunity to tell the truth. No pun intended. I don't necessarily blame Paul Levesque for not leading this question, not like volunteering any answers to this particular question. I don't mind if that's the case. I don't mind if you decided that you did not want to volunteer yourself to this particular subject matter, okay? But when a member of the media, which represents the viewing public, that are paying millions and millions of dollars worldwide, if not billions, to watch your shows and support this product, when that member of the media asks you a question, it is your obligation to tell the truth and to insinuate that Ron Killings was let go or about to have his contract lapsed, therefore being taken off WWE television, was part of the show. It's a complete slap in the face to anyone with a brain. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. For anyone who has a brain, for anyone who has any kind of common sense, that is a slap in the face. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Now, if you want to say that he was going to be let go, and then due to the fans having love for R-Truth, you changed your mind, that's cool. That's cool. If you say, listen, you know what, we were about to make a business decision. Matter of fact, I'll tell you exactly, and y'all let me know in the chat how y'all feel about how I'm about to word this. If I was Paul Triple H Levesque, and that's kind of hard, and that's kind of far-fetched considering the fact that I'm an intelligent person. But if I was Paul Triple H Levesque, let's just play this thing out. And I was asked the question. So, listen, about the R-Truth situation. Him coming back tonight is cool. Can you give us some details about why and how he was about to be let go, whatever the case may be, his contract situation, blah, blah, blah. My response would be simply this, and I quote, a business decision was made, or I should say about to be made. Collectively, WWE and our team decided that we were not going to renew his contract. We appreciate all the dedication and sacrifices that Ron Killings has made to this company. It was a budget cut situation. We love him. We appreciate him, but we were going to let him go. That being said, after the outcry and the response by the fans as it relates to R-Truth over the past couple of weeks during random matches on WWE television, myself as well as my colleagues thought it would be best to bring him back because we certainly care about what the fans think. So yes, Ron Killings was going to have his contract expire, but we decided to renew due to the outcry and the outpouring of love for Ron Killings by the fans. End quote. That's all you had to say. That's all you had. Even if behind the scenes you hate R-Truth and never wanted him to come back, all you had to do was say what I just said, and nobody would have an issue with him right now. Triple H, that is. Nobody would have an issue with him if he just said, we brought him back because of the fans. But to insinuate that he was never going to be, that it was all part of the story, to insinuate that it was all part of the story. Again, somebody in the chat, let me know what he said. And I forget exactly the quote, but I think I said it was along the lines of enjoy the show or it's part of the show. Correct me if I'm wrong. But no matter what he said, we all know he said something that was highly insulting to all of our intelligence. R-Truth, make no mistake about it, was on his way out the door. He was physically out the door, just waiting for his contract to expire. Don't make any mistake about that, bro. And you're going to act like this was all part of your plan? Nobody believes that crap. Where's the accountability? Where's you being a leader in that locker room and taking accountability for the things that you've done? Hey, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have let him go. The fans spoke. I listened. He's back. That's all it takes. It's not rocket science. You don't have to lie, you idiot. But I guess this is the lies and manipulation era of WWE. Let's go to some of the content, the chat comments here. I want to make sure we show some love to people in the chat. Quills is talking a little bit about the next subject on the docket, so this is kind of perfect timing. Sir Quills says 2 title reigns for Jey Uso and not even eclipsing 100 days or even 50 days, not even 100 days combined at this point. Jey Uso is close to getting the Sasha Banks championship treatment. It's deplorable. Deplorable to say the very least, my brother, and I'm about to get into that. Clown says he had every chance to do the right thing and just say we listen to the fans. That's all it would have took, but I guess he didn't think that was the right thing to do. Sir Quill says, you know how long Triple H's nose is? Of course he's a liar. He's the real-life Pinocchio. I see no lies in that. Joel's in the building. Welcome to the show, my guy. Appreciate you. Connor's in the building. Thank you so much for pulling up, man. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming to HUBBanomics. Clown goes on to say, conspiracy theory. Truth never got released. He was informed they would not renew his contract. They saw the outrage and brought him back to finish the contract, maybe with an extension. Again, that's all you had to say. But Triple H, being the brain surgeon that he is, went a different route. He decided to lie. His Clown continues to say his condition was returned. His condition on returning was getting his name back because he can use that on the Indies. Fair enough. Fair enough. Quills goes on to say, what makes it even worse is that Triple H had the nerve to do this famous finger point selfie with Ron Killings in gorilla position, proving that he's a living, breathing, walking contradiction. Let me tell you something, bro. Triple H and these pictures backstage make me sick. They make me absolutely sick. And I'm sure that the Ron Killings of the world, the Jey Usos of the world, the CM Punks of the world, and many others, if they had a chance to say, yo, take that camera and shove it right up your you-know-what, they would do so. But I'm sure they can't do that because then they'd be in trouble. But then again, if you're Jey Uso, the treatment that you've gotten over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, hey, you might as well be in trouble anyway. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Vinny, the only Vinny we like, says, LOL, that's accountability. Something WWE won't admit, Hubs. You're factually right about that. He goes on to say, if was part of the show, the match at Saturday Night's Main Event would have been a career-threatening match for him, and that would have been better. That's a super-duper fact right there. Quill says, Triple H said, quote, I love the question. You're enjoying the show, right? Yeah, all part of the show, man. That's even worse than I thought I remembered, Quilly. Thank you so much. Let me elaborate. I'm going to leave Quill's comment up there because he helped me out by quoting exactly what Triple H said. That's even worse than what I thought I remembered he said. What I thought I remembered he said was enjoy the show or it's part of the show. But this, what Quilly just quoted Triple H saying, is even worse. I'm going to repeat this again. Triple H says, I love the question, by the way, ... condescending AF. He goes on to say, you're enjoying the show, right? Condescending AF again and delusional. And then he says, all part of the show, man. A blatant lie. So you have condescending, lie. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Condescending, lie. Wow. My tag team partner on Clash of the Podcast Monday night, Conrad, is in the building. We appreciate you being here, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Sure to hit the like button. I appreciate that as well, Conrad. Appreciate the love always, my friend. Clown says, Triple H, quote, I enjoy the question, enjoying the show, all part of the show, man. He quoted Triple H as well. I appreciate that, Clown. Vinny, the only Vinny like says, Jay's title reign was like a DEI hire to quiet people, then back to the business as usual with Triple H's faves. Oh, my God. I don't think you could be more right, Vinny. You're 100% right. M. Leezy, let's talk about how cringe is TKO putting up a blank, putting up the hand clap emoji after R-Truth return. Wow. I didn't even know that. That's disgusting. Thank you, M. Leezy. Vinny says Triple H is feeling the pressure. I don't know about that. I hope so, but I don't know about that. But I certainly hope so because he needs to feel some kind of pressure. All right, so if that's not bad enough, and let's keep in mind also R-Truth, John Cena 1-on-1 on SmackDown, big freaking deal. Whatever. So that with that being said, everybody knows my opinion of Jey Uso. Everybody knows that I created, founded, and drove the Jey Uso bandwagon from the time, and you guys know the quote, from the time he said in the summer of 2023, I'm out and you're out too, and kicked Roman Reigns in the face, or it was either summer of 2022 or summer of 2023, excuse me. Probably 2023. It had to be 2023. Yeah, 2023. Thank you. From the time he said, I'm out, and you're out, and I'm out too, and kick Roman Reigns in the face, I created and founded the Jey Uso bandwagon. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate you. Easy E in the building. Thanks for being here, my guy. And Quill's giving Conrad a big what's up. Appreciate that as well. Yeah, Vinny, thank you so much. So since June of 2023, I've created and ran the Jey Uso bandwagon. I felt it was justifiable and almost a point of owing that man a world championship reign after the year and a half that he had up until that point. 2 years that he had up until that point. I said it back when he won the title or before he won the title, and when it became clear something big was going to happen when he won the Royal Rumble. I said that it doesn't matter if he loses the title because resumes matter, And I still believe that. Resumes matter. They can never take away that he won the Royal Rumble. They can never take away that he's a world champion. Well, I was wrong. Because it does matter how he lost the title. And I'm pissed off about it. Number one, and this is something everybody in the chat, I think, agrees with how I feel about the R-Truth situation with Triple H and also the Jey Uso situation as it relates to Triple H. Mostly everybody agrees. If you don't, that's cool. But I'm about to say something you may not agree with right now, okay? So let's talk about it. Gunther is one of the most talented professional wrestlers on the planet, bar none. And he is more talented in ring-wise than Jey Uso. A blind man can see that, okay? My thing is Gunther really that entertaining? I'm talking about interviews, in-ring promos. Is he really that entertaining? If y'all think Gunther is awesome on the microphone or awesome in promos or awesome in his backstage segments, feel free to let me know. But I don't think Gunther is that great when it comes to the entertainment side of professional wrestling. Now, why do I say that? Why do I say that? Not because I don't respect Gunther, because I infinitely respect Gunther. Not because I dislike Gunther. That couldn't be further from the truth. I'm a big Gunther fan. But I say that because this is World Wrestling Entertainment. For many, many years now, WWE, formerly WWF, have made a concerted effort to make people understand that this is an entertainment product. The former owner and chairman of this company is famously said, meaning they, WCW, are in the wrestling business. We are in the entertainment business. That's what he said. And that has been the thing in WWE for many years, since the Monday Night Wars. They are wrestling. We are entertainment. If that's the case, is Jey Uso not more entertaining than Gunther? Again, not saying that Jey Uso is a better wrestler. I'd have to be an idiot to say that. I'm not. I have eyes and I have a brain. And as much as I like Jey Uso and respect him, he's not a better wrestler in ring, bell to bell, than Gunther. But Jey Uso is way more entertaining than Gunther. I'm just saying. And before I go deeper into my point, we have a couple of responses to my question. Easy E says, Gunther chopped that like, but thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Clown says, worst is Jey probably lost it just so Seth can cash in on Goldberg during the Goldberg-Gunther. Oh, my God. Clown, that would stink. Okay, but let's move on. Emily Z says, Gunther isn't that entertaining. Thank you. I'm glad it's not just me. Now, Vinny, my dog, a good guy, maybe he disagrees. He says, he's definitely perfected the cocky, pompous heel character. Okay. Vinny, I know you respect me, and I respect you. If you think Gunther is an entertaining promo, I respect that. I respect that. That's cool. Emily Z says, Gunther would have been better fit in AEW. I feel you. More wrestling and less talking. I agree. Vinny says, Cena, Roman, Cody, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley, Seth Rollins are most over people on the roster, all of Heather Gunther. Amen to that, brother. You got that right. And Orton. You got that right, too. Quilly, he says, Gunther is not entertaining at all. He's a good, capable promo, but not captivating enough. When we see him, it's mainly for his work in the ring as a top-tier professional wrestler. That's all. That right there, what Quilly just said, combined with what Vinny just said, and Emily Z too, but what Quilly just said is a perfect blend of everything that I've been thinking all this time. Like, when I see Gunther, I'm like, he's freaking awesome. He's freaking awesome in the ring. That should be a t-shirt. Gunther is freaking awesome, ... in the ring. Now, on the flip side, Jey Uso, not freaking awesome in the ring. But Jey Uso is arguably, piggybacking off of Vinny's point, arguably the most popular guy in the business. Arguably. I know he's probably not. Top five. Top five in the company. As a matter of fact, Vinny, I was just about to say that, so I got to give you credit first, bro. Solo Sikoa? Vinny, we're thinking alike today, bro. Solo Sikoa, over the last couple of months with the whole funny kind of mocking character, is even more charismatic lately than Gunther is. And I find it so bothersome to even say that, because I like Gunther for what he does. Gunther is awesome in the ring. I want you guys to remember that quote, okay, guys? Gunther is awesome in the ring. Why am I talking like this? Here's why I'm talking like this. Jey Uso did not deserve to lose his title in 51 days. It's just a fact, bro. Jey Uso did not deserve to lose that title. And by the way, lose it clean. Lose it clean. And by the way, on Monday Night Raw. And then Triple H wonders why people come after him. Let's go down memory lane, right? The whole storyline. And I admit, some people didn't like it. I did, but some people didn't like it, and I can understand because it was a bit repetitive. The whole story of Gunther and Jey Uso was that Jey Uso could not beat him. He couldn't beat him when Gunther was the Intercontinental Champion. He couldn't beat him on Saturday night's main event. He could not beat him in the King of the Ring tournament. He could not beat him. And the whole story of Jey Uso choosing to challenge Gunther when he won the Royal Rumble instead of challenging Cody was to prove to Gunther and prove to himself that he could beat Gunther. And even though it was the first match of the first night of WrestleMania, which still pisses me off, Jey Uso accomplished that goal. Jey Uso climbed that mountain. That's awesome. But my question is, what's happened since then? Well, he successfully defended the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw against Seth Rollins, and he won the match by disqualification. He successfully defended the title against Logan Paul on Saturday night's main event. But he got the win because of outside interference and distraction that led to the victory. So then we have this match announced about 2 weeks in advance where Jey is going to be challenged by Gunther, who's going to get his WrestleMania rematch about 2 months later, month and a half later. In the match, Jey Uso and Gunther go for about 30 minutes. Sleeper, reversal, sleeper, reversal. Eventually, Gunther makes Jey Uso not submit, pass out. So let's review this. You have Jey Uso, and again, I'm not being a hypocrite here. Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble made me almost do a backflip. And Jey Uso winning the title at WrestleMania made me almost do a backflip. And Jey Uso having a world title on his resume makes me extremely, extremely happy and justified that I have created the Jey Uso bandwagon. However, let's review. A, Jey Uso could never beat Gunther. B, Jey Uso finally beats Gunther on the 4th try. C, Jey Uso's only 2 title defenses were a successful win because of a DQ and a successful win because of a run-in. I think I'm up to C. Gunther makes Jey Uso pass out. And D, Jey Uso is right back where he started, not being able to beat Gunther. That's one thing that flew over all the people said. See, there's a lot of people who are outraged about the Jey Uso loss. Of course, there's haters and morons who are perfectly happy with it. But for those who don't like the Jey Uso loss, they're rocking with me. They're saying it's bullcrap. But the thing that flew over people's heads, he lost to Gunther, which means that he's right back to losing to Gunther. So if he's right back to losing to Gunther, what does it matter that he beat him at WrestleMania? Help me understand. Because he's right back in the loser column against Gunther. And on top of that, yeah, Quills, I see it. Yeah, Vinny, I see it. Yeah, M. Leezy, I've seen it. I've read it. I've heard about it. The rumors are starting to swirl again. Now they're going to put the Usos back together. Wow. What brilliant storyline. How creative. Wow, you're really sticking your neck out there, Hunter, making some tremendous storyline decisions. Wow, it really took you a lot to figure out that you want to put back together the greatest tag team in World Wrestling Entertainment history, and then say to yourself, well, hey, I'm justifying cutting Jey Uso's championship reign short to put the Usos back together instead of being a real booker and coming up with real storylines that would have made Jey Uso's world title run mean a lot more. All hail, bow down to the, you can suck it. How about that? You suck, bro. You suck. You're lazy and you suck at your job. Anybody could have made that decision to put the Usos back together. It takes a real booker and a real creative mind to come up with storylines that would have made Jey Uso's championship run mean something. Now, it will always mean something because, like I always say, resumes matter. So Jey Uso, they can never take that away from him. He earned the right to be world champion. He became world champion, and that will forever be part of his resume. But 51 days? And when you add that to the fact, remember guys, 28 days as Intercontinental Champion. As Sir Quills articulated earlier in the show in one of his comments, that's a combined 28. If my math is not off, isn't that 79 days? Let's make sure my math is right. 68, 78. Yeah, I think that's right. Help me out if my math is off. But 58, 68, 78, right? Wouldn't that be 79? Help me out. 79 days. It's either 79 or 89. I think it's 79. 79 days? 79 days? 51 plus 28? Yeah, I'm confident now. It's 70. It's 79. Thank you. It's 79. I was kind of questioning my math skills. It's 79. I was right all along. Thank you, Quilly. Thank you, Emily Z. 79 days. 79 days combined. Intercontinental and world champion. But we're supposed to respect Triple H. We're supposed to believe that things are so much better under the Triple H regime. Okay. Don't make me have to go back to Kofi Kingston. Don't make me have to go back to the fact that he lost the title in 9 seconds. Now, that wasn't when Triple H was in charge, but I don't see what's much different about it. Just saying. Just saying. Let's check out some more comments. Quilly says now there's reports that WWE might reunite the Usos as a tag team, thus ending Jey USO's singles push. It's a damn shame. Emily Z says, watch Usos. He's saying, watch, comma, Usos versus New Day SummerSlam tag titles. You're probably right. And as much as I love the Usos and the New Day, that's a cop-out and that's bullcrap. Vinny, the only Vinny we like, says, this makes Kofi's title run look more decent. Not with the 9 second thing. Yeah, it lasted longer. It was much longer, but 9 seconds is how it ended. By the way, Kofi never got a rematch. Vinny says, Jay being the mystery main for King of the Ring tournament is so lame too. That's a fact. Quilly says, which makes it even more disgusting is now the Raw currently has one honorable champion now, and that's Io Sky, who is also being wrongfully treated as an afterthought as world champion. That ain't no lie. Wasn't going to talk about Io Sky today, but since my boy Quilly brought it up, guess how many title defenses Io Sky has had since WrestleMania? Don't worry, I'll wait. Guess how many title defenses Io Sky has had since WrestleMania? Zero. Not one. Wonderful booking, Paul. Wonderful booking. Vinny says, well, at least the tag team title will actually get TV time with the Usos back together. That's true. The Usos are amazing, and so is New Day. And I know you're trying to kind of, find that silver lining in a dark cloud, Vinny, and I appreciate you for that. But it's still wrong, and you know that, and we agree on that. It's still wrong. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. Let's just put the Usos back together. That's easy. I can do that. Think about this, guys. Think about this. Triple H is supposed to be the booker for the most prestigious wrestling company on God's green earth. That's his job. Now, I want you to answer me yes or no on this, guys. Yes or no. For anybody who's in this chat. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. And if the answer is no, I will take it like a man. I want you to answer this question, yes or no. Do you think Sean Hubbard could write a better Monday Night Raw than Triple H? Maybe not for the long term, because I don't have the experience. But if you put me in charge of Monday Night Raw this Monday, After 6:05, Clash of the Podcast with me and Conrad. If you put me in charge of Monday Night Raw this Monday, do you think I could write a better show than Triple H? Yes or no? I'll just throw that out there. Vinny says, well, at least the tech, right. We talked about that already. Agreed. Quill says, at least with Jey USO as world champion, you had 2 world champions that people want to see more, of course, but that sounds like a good idea, and you know what that means. That's a fact, bro. Triple H don't care. WWE doesn't care. M. Leezy. Also, Triple H can't book Gunther in a storyline without a title, apparently. Touche. And I've heard the Goldberg rumors. They make me sick. Makes me sick. And imagine if Goldberg would. M. Leezy, thanks for the math. Sir Close, thanks for the math. Vinny says they'll never see him as anything more than a tag guy, and they're just happy fans, like the fans are eating to sell merch, excuse me, and tell people WWE is going to a concert during his entrance. Yeah, I mean, true. Conrad says they gave Jey the Jeff Hardy run of 2008. Fairly accurate. Sir Quill says Hubs. WWE would be so much better if you were given the creative. Well, God bless you, brother. I appreciate that. Quills, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Conrad says WrestleMania 42 card. I can see it now. Usos versus New Day versus Lucha Brothers. That bothers me so much. Not just about Jey. What about Jimmy? Jimmy never got his moment. What happened to the United States Championship? So, and not just about Jey and Jimmy. What about Penta and Rey Fenix? What did I say on Clash of the Podcast, M. Leezy, Sir Quills? Give it a couple of months and they'll be what? Just another guy. EO is so disrespected. That's a fact. Clown says, at least Kofi had 9 seconds. How quick did Bryan lose to Sheamus? That's true. That's true. But then Daniel Bryan had one of the greatest runs in history. So, Clown, as much as I respect what you're saying, I hear what you're saying. But okay, let me ask you this. Okay, I'll answer that. I'll answer that by saying this. Do you think Jey Uso is going to have another run as world champion? As much as I would like to say yes, the answer is probably no. So I don't know how that applies. I hear what you're saying, but Jey Uso's not going to get the same opportunities Daniel Bryan did. Not with this regime. Zero title defenses, M. Leezy. EO Sky disrespect is EO Sky disrespect in my facts. Vinny says they just have her fangirling for Nikki backstage. That's a fact. And by the way, Nikki Bella, give me a break. Give me a break. Nobody wants to. I'm cheering for Liv. I don't know if anybody in this chat is going to cheer for Nikki Bella over Liv Morgan. I'm not anything close to Liv Morgan's #1 fan, but I hope Liv Morgan destroys her. But WWE storylines and watch Triple H have Nikki Bella beat Liv Morgan. Watch, moron. Clown says at least Kofi had 9 seconds. Okay, that was a comment from earlier. M. Leezy says Karrion Kross. What about him? All those cheers, selling T-shirts and nothing because they don't care what we want. M. Leezy, I'm not directing this directly towards you because you get it and everybody gets it. But I'm saying it to you because you made the comment. But this is for everybody. Once again, WWE does not care what you want. And the only way you will stumble into getting what you want is if Triple H and his regime happen to want the same thing you want. Triple H don't care about you, me, or any other fans. They care about nothing but this. And for the people listening on audio, I just gave the money sign. And Leezy, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, bro. Monday Night Hubs, Vinny says, that's very kind of you. Thank you, guys. That's right. After 6:05 Eastern. That's a fact, Conrad. We'll be live at 6:05 on Monday. Quill says, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, EO Sky had one match since WrestleMania, and that was against Stephanie McCurry, and that ended in a DQ. One match. Thank you, Quills. One match. look, guys, there's so much more to talk about, and myself and Conrad will discuss so much more on Monday. But y'all, it's a disgrace what's going on right now, man. An outright disgrace. And honestly, I don't see it getting any better. And I don't want anybody to say that I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, when the Usos are once again World Tag Team Champions, I will be excited because I'm naturally a Uso fan, okay? But I'm still standing on business. Even if I do celebrate and I get excited for a few minutes when Jey USO and Jimmy USO once again are the World Tag Team Champions, in the back of my mind, I'm still going to be pissed because Jey USO never got his chance. And again, not just about Jey. It's also Jimmy. Jimmy's been given nothing since him and his brother not broke up, but went their separate ways. Nothing. But Triple H is a great booker? Please. That's comedy to me. Comedy. Then he says, when Roman is coming off his vacay, who knows? Who knows? Clown says Cross made the same mistake. Cardona made himself over the internet and without the machine's involvement. And yep, exactly. And I'll add to Clown's point. Made himself over like Cardona, and WWE is petty, and they're not going to give him any kind of machine behind him. Exactly. You're 100% right. Conrad says it seems the lesson is don't get yourself over. That's a really good point, Conrad. Delayed Grat says I'm in disagreement with Hub because I am even more angry over Triple K than he is. So you're saying you're in your disagreement because you're even more angry with Triple? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I get it. I hear you. Everything Pro Wrestling, Conrad says they want to control the narrative. No pun intended. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then he says, whatever happened to the tease between Jey and Sammy? Never came to fruition. Would have been dope to see Sammy turn heel and them face each other in the main event of a pay-per-view. But that sounds like a good idea. And you know the rest. So, look, I'm about to let you guys go enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. I'm going to be watching UFC, doing some notes on that on the website. Make sure you go to HWWeekly.com. Make sure you check out the website. Make sure you check out all my social media handles, HWWeekly or HubbWWeekly on most of my social media outlets. Me and Conrad will be live 6:05 Eastern Standard Time this Monday night as we discuss everything pro wrestling. No pun intended. That was a pun right there. As we discuss everything pro wrestling on the Everything Pro Wrestling channel for Clash of the Podcast. So listen, man, I want to let you guys know I appreciate you guys being here, taking a little time out of your Saturday afternoon to rock with me. I do not take it for granted. I'm certainly appreciative, first and foremost, to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and secondly, to all of you guys for your kindness and respect of me and my platform, respect of me and Conrad on our platform. It means a lot, and it's certainly not taken for granted. So with that being said, on behalf of all of you, I'm going to say on behalf of y'all, man, on behalf of y'all, but of course, from me to you, I wish you guys a happy weekend. I'll see you on Monday on the Everything Pro Wrestling channel for Clash of the Podcast. And as always, God bless, be encouraged, and evil never prevails. Until next time, you already know what it is, man. I'm out.